Hello everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the pandemic experience here at True North Functional Fitness and Pilates. I'm going to try to ramp it up a little bit more today in terms of the mat program. We're moving from a basic program to a more intermediate program. Again, a lot of us who are at home doing this, we haven't done a lot of these mat exercises, but believe me, in some way or another, you've seen these movements before on the reformer and other things we've done, so they shouldn't be completely foreign to you. I'll do my best to break it down, and you should really have an easy time seeing what I'm doing as I move through the exercises. There's about 15 more exercises than there were in the mat basic version, but the intermediate should prove to be a little more fun, a little more challenging, get you sweating a little bit more. And like I mentioned in some previous correspondence, I'll be also adding a simple at-home fitness routine to this later today as well. So here we go. We're gonna lay down and get moving. So our first exercise today will be the pelvic lift. Feet are out a little bit, and we've done this one a million times. So as we start by pulling our navel down and curling up, lifting the pelvis nice and high, and exhaling, coming back down nice and smooth. Ooh, there we go. Inhale right back up again. And exhale down nice and smooth. Now feel free at home. I haven't been doing this with any background music, so if you'd like to put on something light and gentle like we do in class, please feel free. If you'd like to just do it quietly, that's good as well. But again, it leaves you some things to make it a little bit of your own time, which I'm sure we all need as we're all cooped up together right now. And we'll move into our up, up, down, down, or our leg exchanges. So as we inhale, we bring one leg into tabletop position, the other leg into tabletop position, and return them down. Inhale, the left leg comes up, and exhale, draw the navel down. Inhale, the right leg comes up. Exhale, draw the navel down. Inhale, the foot goes down. Deep exhale to follow. Inhale, the right leg goes down. Deep exhale to follow. Inhale up. And we'll switch sides. We'll start with the right. Move into our spine twist. So our legs will come back up into tabletop position. And as we exhale, they'll go down to one side. Inhale right back up to the center. Exhale down the other side. Remember, we do want to try to go as far as possible with this, but we don't want our scapula to come off the mat. We want to try to keep our knees parallel and not tuck our heels in toward our butt as we go side to side. So we'll work on some 100, very similar to when we do it on the reformer, except we're stationary. So we have to do some little more to press our pelvic floor down into the pad here. So we're gonna start out elevating our legs all the way up, pressing our lower back down. And now, just like we're reaching forward with the foot straps, or with the straps, we're gonna reach forward. And now that we're here, we'll tap. Inhale for 5, exhale for 5. lie completely flat. And everything should be nice and engaged right now. So we'll go right into our roll-ups. So we'll exhale deeply, draw the navel down, come up nice and smooth, and roll right back down. Remember, we're not trying to reach as far as we can to the toes, trying to come up to the nice C shape, pulling the pelvic floor back, opening up the lumbar vertebrae, and rolling right back down all the way to neutral spine. Go right into leg circles. Remember, hip stability and pelvic floor stability are very important. So as I do this, I don't want my opposite hip to fall away or to do anything to compensate this movement. So as I bring my leg out, as soon as I feel my hip go, I don't want to go that far. Keep my abs nice and tight, keep my glutes engaged. I don't want to have a loose pelvis. I want it nice and anchored. Reverse. You can always put a hand on the opposite hip just to give yourself an extra guide. Make sure you're not moving all around. Be aware one leg won't move like the other. One side might be much weaker, or one movement might be much weaker than the other. If you're paying attention, you can see that this side on me moves much freer. I have much more control, much more strength. Some of that's leftover injuries that I'm working through. And some of that's just the fact that we're right-handed or left-handed. Go ahead and reverse. Now's a good moment to take a quick drink if you need it. All right, continuing on, we're gonna go right into rolling like a ball. Have a seat, wrap your legs around your ankles. You're gonna pull your navel back like you're rolling down. That'll bring you down, go about mid-back and right back up. Now you're gonna be rolling right up and down your length of your spine. Again, notice my head isn't hitting the mat. We're coming close to it, nice and smooth. Excellent. All right, we're gonna lie on our back, bring our legs up into tabletop position. We're gonna move into the double leg stretch here. So we'll start out by engaging our abdominals, bringing our chin into our chest, bringing our shoulder blades off the mat, and resting my hands just over the top of my knees. Now I'm not holding on, I'm using my abdominals to hold me up. As I inhale, I'm going to reach my legs out and my arms over my head. Bring them all the way around, and exhale, bring my knees right back in. Again. Two more. One more. Relax for a second. And now we'll go into the single leg stretch. Very similar, single leg reach rather. You really want to try to make sure you reach your feet as far as you can away from your hip, not leaving the leg loose. So we'll start out again in tabletop position. One leg is out nice and straight. Notice my feet are both the same height. I don't have one leg up here, the other leg down here. My toes are the same height even though they're at different distance. That's pretty important. Again, engage the abdominals, come all the way up. I'm not holding on to the leg. I take a deep breath in through my nose, and when I exhale, I draw the other knee over my hip and extend the other one out simultaneously. Relax. So, similar movement, but we're going to call this the Criss Cross now. So again, we'll bring the legs into tabletop. We'll extend one out. We'll come up. Now, we want to be turned toward that right knee, and as we change, and relax. That's a tough one. So we're going to give ourselves a little bit of a break here. We go into the shoulder bridge with leg changes and then the rollover. We want to make sure we don't overdo it. So our shoulder bridge, very simple. We're not going to use our articulating bridge to come up. We're just going to come up with the spine staying in neutral, come up as high as we can, and we're going to bring one leg into tabletop position. Now I'm going to bring that leg down and the other one comes up. Inhale down, exhale, come up. Make sure your hips don't come down. Inhale down, exhale, come up. Inhale, come down, exhale, come up. Inhale, come down, exhale, come up. Inhale, down, exhale, up, and all the way down. Now the rollover, we'll do the best we can. I'm a little beat up today. The last couple of days of doing some extra work on the videos is definitely catching up with me. And again, we're not always as flexible as the next. I know from class some of you are going to flow right into this position and it'd be no problem rather. And some of you, more like me, it's not going to look so good. Please, refrain from using momentum. Momentum's only going to end up having you go too far over and end up on your neck and hurting yourself. So the best way to do this rollover, or for those of you yogis that plow, we're going to bring our legs up until they're in a 90-degree position first and rely on our abdominals to do most of the work. So from here, I'm going to start by pulling my abdominals down and over, and I'll settle for this today. And I'll exhale, I'll come back, nice and smooth, returning to my legs till my tailbone hits. Again, come up to 90 degrees and drawing my navel down. And come all the way back. Again, don't overdo that. You're probably going to be red like me, but don't end up on your neck. All right, moving right along, we're going to move right into some nice stretches that help with a lot of the work we've been doing thus far. So we'll start out nice and tall. Our feet are a little bit spread. We're sitting up, ACID's bones are down, and we're going to start just like a roll down, but we're going to do this from the seated position. We don't want to curl our lower back away from us, but keep our pelvis this way and pour things forward. So I'm going to start with my head reaching away, and this is the one that a lot of people confuse the C-spine for, is reaching all the way out away from their hips like this, and then stacking the spine. open leg rocker is a lot like rolling like a ball, except the legs are open. We're gonna start with it in a little different position. All right, so continuing on with the saw, similar movement out of we just did with the spine stretch, but now it's more of a side to side. So as I reach across and come up this side, I want to reach back and I want to engage the obliques, come out as far as I can, and stack the spine. Again, reach out as far as I can and stack the spine. Reach out and stack and stack and stack, and one more on this side. Now sitting up tall, stacking the spine all the way up, no hunches, no hunched shoulders, no rounded backs. Again, drive your legs down to the pad, sit on your ascix bones, lift your collarbones, drop your scapula down and back, bring your hands out to the side, only twist as much as your spine will allow. Should have one straight line from fingertip to fingertip. Very good. We'll lie right on our back and we'll do the corkscrew. This corkscrew is a lot like the spine twist, but the legs are straight. Again, we don't want the shoulder blades to come off the pad, and we want the feet to stay parallel. Good work. So we're going to work on our side leg lift. We know this one is part of our normal warm-up. Our feet are stacked and our head stays down, both legs raised to the ceiling. Roll to the other side. 8 on this side as well. Both feet are stacked. Inhale, bring that hip into the armpit. Remember to use this arm as a little kickstand to keep you from falling over or opening your hips up toward the ceiling. Flipping back over, we're going to do the side kick. Now you have to make sure, I talk about this all the time in class, keep your lats engaged. You don't want your shoulder to end up in your earlobe and not have any support through your core or your spine as we're doing this. Without it, you're going to end up flumped down, things are going to hurt, it's not going to feel good. So I'm going to lie on my side, bring my shoulders down and back, supporting my head. Again, I'm not slouched. I'm pulled in tight. I'm not lifting up higher. Again, I'm just on my hip over here. And I'm going to bring this leg forward as far as I can in flexibility and back. And forward and back. Now this is challenging. You want to make sure you're not going to extend too far or lose your core. So I would focus on, again, shoulder blades down and back, keeping my lat engaged, and not letting my hips move side to side. Like I may feel I could go further, but then I'm gonna lose and fall over. So you really wanna watch out. You don't do that, you police yourself. Again, good shot set up from the back, shoulder blades down and back. My body's nice and tight. I'm not letting it slouch. And once I'm there, the The leg comes forward, the leg comes back. If you really need to, you can support the top hand to help keep yourself balanced. Again, but this is a little more challenging. We're really working on body awareness, using everything we can. So we'll stick with here, moving in one range of motion, learning where our balance points are, getting a little better with each one. Remember, we haven't done these mat movements in a little bit, so some of this will be foreign to us. Oh, you guys really get to see the instructor's bad right hip. All right, moving right along, we're gonna jump right into the single leg kick. These are a little easier, at least in body position. But again, we wanna make sure we keep our lats engaged. We don't wanna mush in, all right? Keep our lats engaged. My hips and my abs are driven right into the pad. My body's nice and straight. I'm gonna start with my left leg. I'm gonna bend my knee and elevate that. Now my thigh is off the ground. Now I'm going to kick and curl, and kick and curl. Inhale, reach. And put it down. All right. Now the other side. Again, the key is that that thigh stays off the pad, and I didn't roll to one side to do that. So again, elevate the leg, raise it up a little bit, kick, and curl. Make sure you keep your lats tight. Kick and curl. Inhale, extend, exhale, curl. Inhale, extend, exhale, curl. Inhale, extend, exhale, curl. One more. Now, make sure you have space on your mat. Make sure there's nothing in front of you. I have to move down because I'm using the clinical table. The shoulder rests are still in my way. But we're going to do swimming. In fact, probably best if I just move these out of the way and be done with it. Would have saved me through a bunch of movements today. So, face down. Again, I'm not craning my head up, okay? Especially in this position. I don't have to worry about drowning underwater. But my head should be neutral. Again, if there was a book right here, I want to be able to look right down and see the words. My thumbs are up. My legs are engaged. And now as I bring my left heel to the ceiling, I bring my right arm up. Inhale. Exhale. I'm trying to reach my opposite toe and opposite hand as far away from each other as they can. And now we'll do opposite arm, opposite leg from all fours. And this is again about pelvic stability. We want to make sure we're not rocking from one side to the other as we remove legs at the table. So again, just to cue yourself in, if you're not, even in the more advanced classes, I like to kind of move things up a little bit or still build them the right way so your brain is properly engaged. So instead of doing opposite arm, opposite leg, for our first movement, again, we'll just do the leg, drive that heel back, make sure you don't lean to the right to do it, bring that knee back down. Now the right leg, drive that heel back, make sure you don't lean to the left to do this. And now we'll add the arm. Left heel goes back, right arm comes up. Come back down. Make sure you're bringing everything in the center. You'll be okay. And now we'll go down into our rest position. We'll come up into our cat stretch. Now, make sure we don't just open up the area between our shoulder blades, like where our camel's hump would be. We want to work with our pelvic floor, our lower back first. So as I begin this, I start by tilting my tailbone down, and ultimately, if I let my lower back round, I do that last. And I return all the way back to neutral spine. I mean, if you have a stiff lower back, it's okay to keep your shoulders and your head in one place and just work on kind of winking that tailbone down, opening up just the lumbar. And when you get comfortable with doing that, you can start to, again, extend all the way through the range of motion. One more time. And go ahead, why not? Let's do a little child's pose again. Rest position. And now we're going to go into front support or building a plank. And in the mat basic, we usually kind of call it build a plank because you're not used to being in a plank position yet. But really, once we get there, we're going to stay here for good 10 good long Pilates breaths and move on. All right. So again, shoulders down and back, lats engaged, navel drawn in. Extend the one leg out, bring the other leg out. We're now in the plank. Deep breath in through the nose, long exhale, drawing that navel into the pelvic floor. My thighs are involved, my glutes are involved, my pelvic floor is drawn in, my lats are tight. I'm not craning my head up. Again, I'm reading the novel, hanging on to every word right in front of me. Elbows aren't locked, shoulders aren't up. Right knee down, left knee down. Feeling pretty good. We're going to turn this right around to the back support. This is really like a plank in reverse. You're going to really need every muscle from the calves to the hamstrings to the glutes, the lower back, the lats, and it's a wonderful chest and shoulder stretch. For some people like me, sometimes my chest and shoulders are a little too tight and I can't get up as far as I would like. I got to keep working on that. That's my fight. Some people can do this like it's no big deal. Other people, too much weight in the midsection, or some others yet, hamstrings and glutes are still a little too weak. We all have our battles to fight, so we'll work on it together. Getting your butt up even just a little bit is good. Maybe sometime we might have to talk about a way to do it with the support underneath you, and I'll put that modification out there on another day. So here we go. Our hands are gonna kind of face down toward our butt cheeks, and they're gonna be a good foot away from my hips, give or take. My shoulders are back, and now, as I extend up, I'm going to lean my head back, tightening my glutes, tightening up my shoulders, tightening up my lats, and then relax and come back down. Again, reaching through, extending, and back down. One more time. Reaching through, extending, and back down. Not the easiest thing to do, but we're getting it done. Now, the last one is a great one to finish off with, and it's like the two rockers, or excuse me, the one rocking one that we did in the beginning, except instead of putting our hands on the outside, we really kind of lace around inside the legs and hold on, and then we roll. It becomes a much tighter roll, and that's okay. It kind of opens up your lower back a little bit more, makes it easier for you to get some movement in there, and you're looser now, so it allows you to draw in much tighter. Little toe stretch. Stretch those hamstrings out. Sit up nice and tall. Open up nice and wide. Give yourself a big hug. Open up again. Another big hug. Couple of deep breaths to cool down. Remember, exercise is one of the best things we can do to help ourselves not get cabin fever, not go a little insane in these crazy times. So stay focused, look for the opportunities out there, keep a smile on your face. I'll see you again tomorrow.